I indicated the other day that I'd talk about this painting and why this was such a struggle. Now, the struggle came directly from the fact that I put everything at the top of the painting. The top 20% had all the energy, all the contrast, and all the drive. It was anchored at the top. So that meant that I had a real battle to try and level out that level of intensity that I had at the top with something underneath that. So normally with a painting we have a fulcrum, we have a centre point where we balance things, we weigh things on this side with multiple things on that side. And we talk about not just a mass, but a mass that may be driven by contrast, or a mass that may be driven by colour, or colour contrast, right? Yellows and pinks and blues and so on, rather than black and white. Now in this one here, this is where it came from. I had everything on this side, at the top in other words. So the actual energy of the painting was over here. So the fulcrum being, say, here, meant that the painting was weighed down like that. It was heavy to one side, the side being the top. So what I had to decide was what to put in there so that it could drive the energy to the bottom and balance things out. Now, I could either put a big subject in here and push the contrast dark and light, that'll level it out a lot more, or I could put multiple things in like this and use contrast and then push the colour as well. But even that, even by just putting something here to balance off what was up there, was still wrong. It was still an incomplete equation. What I had to do was decide on how to join them. Join the top with the bottom. So there I was. I thought, well, let's put a couple of small trees in here. And I started doing that, and I sat down and said, that's not enough. So the trees got bigger. And slowly I built the bridge between the top and the bottom. So the whole point there was the trees were one device I used to bridge the top and the bottom. The second device I used was the ray of sun. Right. This sort of scene is driven by dust. So the dust provided a ready ingredient to wind up and put in that air and join the top with the bottom. So the combination of dust, light, midday light, stirring up of the soil here and the suspension of the dust in the air, along with that midday click of light down through the trees, the fall trees, gave me the engineering devices to link the top with the bottom, or one side with the other. So if the fulcrum is here, this is now balanced. It's neither that way nor that way. It's now got balance. And I've just been working on pushing this light a bit more and getting some of that suspension. If you look in here, it's not just a smooth effect now. I've been using this brush here, which has been rearranged by various other things, and I simply scumble that in here to create little particles. It looks like there's dust particles in there just hovering and being held in suspension in the air as it sort of moves around. So that's what's happened in this painting. It's given a nice mood, it's given a nice feel, it's authentic, about 1840s, the Longhorn. We're up and around that area, mostly down around Texas, however, the Panhandle area, but anyhow, never mind, we put them up there, it'll still work. But the rest of it is still very much as it should be and as it is and as it was. So there's my struggle, and that's how I got out of it. And it took quite an effort, but anyhow, after 35 years of painting or 40 years of painting, if I don't know how to get out of a problem, then I should burn my brushes and do something else. There we go.